customers at the current $29 a barrel. Progress is reported difficult among the OPEC ministers, no surprise to analysts.
We set the price for some time. The price has been set increasingly in the market, in the spot market, in the short-term market.
OPEC has only cut prices once before in its history, dropping from $34 to $29 a barrel back in March of 1983. And bad news here at home tonight. Two varsity members of the TCU basketball team are in trouble with the law tonight.
Next in sports, Dale Hansen has that story. Plus, you'll find out what volleyball is and what it means to the streaking Dallas Mavericks.
And still ahead on the update, how to crash a White House party if you don't mind going to jail for a while.
At the heart of this race-winning Mazda RX7 is a race-modified version of the same fuel-injected rotary engine that powers our latest Mazda RX7, the GSL SE. 0 to 50 in 5.6 seconds. Alloy wheels with Pirelli radius, plus 25 luxury features like air conditioning, AM/FM stereo, and sunroof, all standard. Come test drive our finest Mazda RX7 value ever. Get a lot of value at your Dallas-Fort Worth Mazda dealer today.
At Sanger Harris this week, take an extra 30% off fall fashions already reduced 20 to 50%. Remember, take an extra 30% off already reduced fall fashions this week at Sanger Harris.
Since the founding of SMU, the generosity of Dallas citizens has made possible a strong and lasting partnership. The city constitutes a living laboratory of diverse learning experiences for SMU students. And the university has made significant contributions to the city through its outstanding graduates. A strong and mutually beneficial bond exists between Dallas and SMU partners.
Bad news for two top players, huh?
Who was it, Cass Stevens or Skip Bayless, or somebody wrote the other day, you have to study a police blotter to do this job, and sometimes I'm beginning to think they're right about this. Two TCU basketball players have been accused of breaking into a car, stealing the radar equipment. Greg Grissom and Tony Papa will report to the Fort Worth Police Department tomorrow morning. It's expected then that charges will be filed. Grissom and Papa say they didn't do it. Those two, and TCU playing Texas Tech in Lubbock tonight, and there's better news. TCU won 48-47. Michael Jordan plays in Dallas in 53 days, and here he comes. Jordan and the Bulls home tonight against Kansas City, and Michael Jordan continues just an amazing rookie career. Jordan gets 26 points in this game tonight. Chicago tough to beat at home. They have now won 8 in a row in Chicago. They've won 4 straight. They beat Kansas City 103-97 tonight because of that man. Detroit and Boston playing in Hartford, Connecticut tonight, and what a wild game this was. Boston leads by 3 with 40 seconds to play. Then Isaiah Thomas ties it with that three-pointer. Boston leads again, 129-28. You see the time, Isaiah Thomas again. The Pistons go up by 1. They have an 8-game winning streak coming into this. 4 seconds to play. Dennis Johnson gets the ball to Larry Bird, and Larry Bird gets the game winner again. 32 points for Larry Bird tonight, 131-130. You can pay a man $2 million a year, and they still get excited about winning basketball games. So many Maverick fans absolutely loved that game with Philadelphia last night. The Mavericks won, and Wallace Bryant got his chance to play.
In the game now for the Mavericks, number 55, Wallace Bryant.
He wears number 55, yet he hasn't scored that many points this season. Wallace Bryant normally plays about 5 minutes a game. But last night against Philly, it was time for Wally Ball.
I told him yesterday that I was going to use him and ask him if he could just play and not go crazy and do the things that we've been trying to teach him to do. And he stayed pretty much within his limits tonight.
Without style and speed, Bryant relies on strength. And last night he made a sudden impact on Moses Malone. Moses came down from the mountain with only 26 points. And the Mavs beat the Sixers for only the second time.
It's just like an inspiration, you know. It was very, very, very fulfilling to me to be able to get out there and play them as hard as I did and you know, play an all-around good game, you know. I didn't really look to score. Coach doesn't want me to score at this time, you know. He just wants me to play good defense, clog up the middle, and rebound.
The time that he was in there, he did an excellent job. Moses is such a physical player. Wallace is probably the only player that we have that can fit him strength for strength. And he got in, played hard, got rebounds, played good position, and looked very well tonight.
He did a good job on Moses, too. Boxed him out, did a good job rebounding, and just really leaned on Moses and bothered him.
Wally Ball? Is that what we can call it?
That's right, it's Wally Ball.
Defense is the key to Wally Ball. But let us not forget that Wallace Bryant poured in 2 points last night, both from the free throw line. Jerry Howard, Channel 8 Sports at Reunion Arena.
Rangers pitcher Dave Stewart, arrested the other day in L.A. and charged with lewd conduct, has pleaded no contest to that. The judges fined Stewart $150 and placed him on some kind of probation out there for a year. And Rangers outfielder Gary Ward takes the Rangers to arbitration, said to be asking for $700,000 a year, and maybe even more than that. That would be a $250,000 raise. Gary Ward doesn't hit what I weigh, although most players don't, if I'm honest about it. You hit what I weigh, you make the Hall of Fame. Gary Ward has a terrible year until the Rangers are dead, and then wants a $250,000 raise. Somebody trade that man. And the Dallas Sidekicks are playing in Wichita tonight, and shirts are flying everywhere there. This is, who is this? I don't know who it is. It's a guy from Wichita Scores, and the Wichita fans are throwing shirts out on the floor. This is because of what Tattoo does for the Sidekicks when he scores. It's 3-3. This is Tattoo with the ball at his feet right there, kicks it in. Throw the shirt away, Tattoo. Thank you very much. Made it 4-3. Then Wichita came back to tie it 4-4. Went into overtime. It only lasted 25 seconds into overtime, and then Wichita's Omar Gomez scored the winner, and Dallas loses another one, 5-4. Son of a gun.
The trouble is they trade Ward. He'll hit 400 the next year.
Well, yeah. The problem is, like he did, they said they're going to give him like $500,000. It'd be like $20,000 for what he did the first half of the year, and then $480,000 for what he did the last couple of months.
And you have no opinion.
I don't care what they do. It doesn't matter to me.
Okay, thanks, Dale. President Reagan nearly had an uninvited guest for his official inauguration ceremony 2 Sundays ago. The president learned today that just before he took the oath of office at the White House, a tourist slipped past Secret Service guards and was found wandering around the White House. 45-year-old Robert Latta of Denver says he eluded the security blanket by simply falling in behind a Marine band going into the White House.
I stood around for a while and just looked all around and saw the chairs where everybody was going to sit for the ceremony and checked out the dining room and just saw all I could.
Were you surprised that you got that they arrested you?
Well, I guess not. No, not really.
The Secret Service says Latta meant no harm, but he was charged with unlawful entry and held for 6 days for psychiatric examination. White House officials are revising security procedures.
Hope so.
And that's our news for this Tuesday night.
Troy says there's some nasty weather in store for us. Try on these words for size. Snow, sleet, ice. Take a heavy coat to work tomorrow. You'll need it before it gets dark.
Absolutely. Entertainment Tonight is next here on Channel 8. We'll see you again tomorrow night.
Night.
This has been the News 8 Update. Voted best in Texas by the Associated Press and the most watched news broadcast in Dallas-Fort Worth.
The big winners at the American Music Awards.
Why is Chicago Robert Conrad's kind of town?
Are the Attenborough brothers light years apart?
What's the big flap in London over Dallas?
Entertainment Tonight is all dressed up with someplace to go for Tuesday, January 29th.
Honestly, I've never stolen anything in the whole of my life, you little liar. I tell you I saw you steal it. Then you're damn well mistaken. How can I be mistaken? You stole it from right under my nose. It wasn't me. And then you put it in that pocket. I did not. Oh, yes, you did. Give it back. No, I didn't. Give That's it back. Your answer to everything, isn't it? Got it. Just as I said. You stole it from right under my nose.